I was in special education from third grade to graduation of high school. When I graduated, there were a few kids that got in trouble, and when you found out what they got in trouble for, there was one kid who went into a Dunkin' Donuts with a machete and tried hacking up a bunch of people. And this is Bergen County, dude. This isn't like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, for just for context, Bergen County is one of the biggest county in New Jersey. It's one of the safest counties in New Jersey and richest counties in New Jersey.
so,
So for that to happen, it's alarming. Yes, right.
yeah,
Just to
so
set the stage.
right. So this happens, and I knew the kid from high school, so I knew his family, whatever. They switched his they switched his medication. So throughout, I'm a naive kid. I grew up with these people. They were all on prescription medications to. I was in it for dyslexia. Okay, there were a lot of kids in there with behavioral issues, especially in the '90s. They were just giving these kids fucking scrupulous amounts of drugs, blah blah blah. They finally get off them. They switch the medication. Boom! They're now zombies. They're now violent. They're now whatever. Um, that happened for a while, for about 5 years. I remember hearing stuff like this happening. Some of them went away to college. They thought that they were able to uh, they were responsible enough to take their medication. Turns out they were abusing their medication, just like everyone who was on Adderall or Vyvanse or whatever. They end up abusing it. Um,
Yeah.
and There was one kid I went to high school with who was on this crap. He took down a plane. They landed a plane early, like he was. It's just I don't know.
What
There's a lot of mental
they had to
illness
do an
out there.
emergency landing for
Yeah,
him. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
He was freaking out.
This was before 9/11. Supposedly Nigerians were in the plane trying to kill him. Some stupid story like that. But my point is that this has been going on for a long, long time. It's just that these kids didn't get a hold of guns, you know, and
Yeah.
the reason why they were freaking out like that is because they were either abusing their medication, their psychotropics, or they weren't taking enough of it, or they wore off and they changed the medications or whatever. And these children that I grew up with, I look back at now and I'm like, they were all mentally ill, but you don't know that when you're younger. You just think that they're bad kids.